Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to Dr. Salawati. We are from Group 7 and we are doing case study 7 on topic of economics consequences of accounting standard. And my name is Norani Binti Sujadi with metric number 60017 and my others members is
Nawwar Syafiqa Binti Zanudin 56917.
And my name is Asyiqin Binti Muhammad Fauzi 59793.
My name is Afiqah Binti Ahmad Tarmizi. My metric number is 59525.
The question A is explain the stakeholders theory and buoy effect applied in this study. So first, we must know what is the stakeholder. Stakeholders can be any person or group that affected by organization, decision and action, which is customer, supplier, creditors, employers, and shareholders. So basically, customer, suppliers, creditors, employees, and shareholders is the example for the directly affected stakeholder. But if indirectly affected, such as government, um, readers in media social, or NGO, and etc. Next. So, what is the principle in the stakeholder theory? First, we need to consider effects on all the stakeholders. There could be positive or negative externalities. Second, understand the behavior of the stakeholder and understand the value of the stakeholder, then understand the context of the stakeholder. Third, create level. Sometimes business have uh, their own level, but most importantly, each of business must have a mission. Mission, what they're going to do with the stakeholder, what they want to achieve to gain the interest in the stakeholder. And the next level, what is the process? And then there will be transaction between the stakeholder and the business organization. And lastly, structure the whole organization and manage time properly. So, what is the step in the stakeholder theory? First step is identify the option. There could be a bad option or good option for the organization to choose. So, better to the business organization identify with either it is the good option or the bad option. So the steps two, identify the stakeholder. So meaning that the business organization must identify the function of the stakeholder, the kind of the stakeholder which is indirectly or directly, and must the business organization must know how 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 many their stakeholder have. And third, step 3 is identify risk. So most of us know that everything we do have a risk. Risk could be anywhere and anytime. So, and we know that when there is high risk, and will be have a high return. But before that, the business organization must know what the risk that they're going to face. Step 4, identify benefit. So, of course, each of the business organization want the benefits for them, and they want to benefit from the stakeholder. But first, the business organization must give the benefit to the stakeholder, so that stakeholder will give the benefit for the business organization. Next, what is the relevance of the stakeholder theory with the case study? So the case study is about the tragedy that Apple Incorporated faced, which is the tragedy occurred in the Foxconn, which is the supplier of the Apple Incorporated. So the supplier is the one of the stakeholder, directly stakeholder for the Apple Incorporated. So Apple Incorporated must take a precaution on safety and welfare of Foxconn workers, because in the beginning of the case study mentioned that the safety is not managed properly. So Apple Incorporated must do the safety properly after the tragedy. Next is the Apple Incorporated should figure out an idea how to give positive feedback and do not blame toward the society. If Apple Incorporated does not make a first step to elevate the situation, the more loyal customer will affect by the negative influence. So the second point is about the stakeholder theory, which is media social readers, NGO, fair labor organization, and loyal customer. Next, bullwhip effect. So maybe some of us not know what is the bullwhip effect. Bullwhip effect is a supply chain phenomenon relating how small fluctuation in demand at the retail level can cause gradually larger fluctuation in demand at the wholesale, distributor, manufacturer, and raw material supply levels. So, meaning that bullwhip effect is something that could be the domino effect. This could be if A, which a retailer have the bullwhip effect, and then it could be the manufacturer, it could be distributor, and it could be manufacturer. So it's a chain related. Then what caused the bullwhip effect? So first, it lead time issues. So the business organization must have a properly management time. And then the lack of communication. Maybe the business organization have lack of communication between the retailer and the distributor, or between the distributor and the manufacturer. And third, overreacting or underreacting on demand expectation. So fourth, inaccurate forecast. So forecast is something that business organization always do to determine, to make a decision how many the product must be produced. But if the forecast is inaccurate, it could cause the bullwhip effect. And fourth, discount, cost changes, and other price variations. So this could cause the bullwhip effect too. And lastly, less than optimal decision, which is that each of the business organization must have optimal decision to gain a perfect plan. So if the action or the decision is under the optimal decision, the business organization must avoid it. And what is the impact of the bullwhip effect? Firstly, excessive stock. There could be excessive stock if the bullwhip effect occurs. And when there is excessive stock, there could be waste. waste meaning of the loss for the business organization. And next, insufficient stock that could lead lack customer service and miss opportunity to gain profit. So when there is stock, there could be the revenue, and revenue means to profit to the business organization. So if insufficient stock and there no revenue and there is no profit for the business organization. Next, what is the solution for the blue effect? First, foster supply chain communication and collaboration. Second, use better forecasting and feasibility tools. And third, explore a demand-driven approach to supply chain management. So what is the relevant blue effect to the case study? So in Apple Incorporate, what caused the blue effect is the drastic changes of demand in market because of the accident in the Foxconn. And Apple Incorporate consider about which is arrangement of supplier and improve the demand in market. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So the second question is about explain the impact of CSR towards the economy for the case above. So based on the case given, there are several positive and negative impact towards the economy. And the first negative impact is the bad effect towards the industry involvement by the Apple's company, which this is referred to the CSR doing by the New York Times report on the explosion accident at Working Foxconn, which one of the supplier Apple's company. The second negative impact is economy shifting, referred to the CSR doing by the organizers, fair labor community to show their protest towards the Apple's company. And also, this will be affect their loyal customer. Next negative impact is low profit generated, which involve low economic level. This is referred to CSR doing by new supplier of Apple's company, which is referred to Pegatron when they are willing to accept at lower profits. In addition, effect on shareholder since the uncertain decision either they are want to continue doing the investment or not in Apple's company. This refer on CSR doing by the MNC company, multinational corporations, which is referred to Ford company, CM and Toyota company. And the last point for negative impact is will increase costs incurred by Apple's company. Refer to CSR general public. When the pressure are put towards on the Apple's company, this will be lead for the company to use the extra cost to cover all the losses and to sustain in the industry and to get back their loyal customer. So, about the positive impact, there are 3 points, which is the first one, establishment the current company when the Apple's company can find their new suppliers, which is Pegatron. The next point is using as one evaluation method, which MNC was disclosed their cost information during the investigation towards the Apple's company. And the last point about the positive impact towards the economy is the industry can be aware by revise the current standard operation, especially in manufacturing industry.
Let's say in case study 7, based on one of the case above, CSR focus on one key area of triple bottom line. Name and explain that key area. Find and apply another 2 theories that could be applied for any related issue on this key area. Triple bottom line theory, the definition of the theory is a framework or theory that recommends the company commit to focus on social and environmental concern just like they do to their own profit. Okay, in this slide, I will explain on the elements on triple bottom line, which include three, which is profit, people, and planet. Profit is used the traditional measure, which measure an impact of the business on its economic environment and also strengthen the profit will continue to succeed for the organization itself. For people, how the people socially responsible an organization with its operation. Next is to measure in human capital and the position within local society. And last is to increase by having fair and beneficial labor practices. Last but not least for planet. Planet is how environmental responsible a firm. And also to managing the monitoring and reporting the organization based on the environmental. Last is the possible thought depending on the size of the business. Next slide, I will explain on the relevance of the triple line bottom to the case study. First of all is the Apple abilities to overcome the challenges related to the supply chain by shifted Postcon to Megaton. These include in the profit, which Apple is try to gain profit from the exchange, the change of the supplier. Next is Apple and other multinational corporations face the same challenges that related to the supply chain, which also happen in any multinational such as Toyota and others. Next is people, which concern about the relationship between the company and the supply chain that happen between Apple and the Foxconn. Apple, which tried to build the better relationship after the tragedy of the end explosion, which the general public concerned that Apple responsible due to the one who owns the product. But in fact, the situation or the tragedy happened because of the supplier itself. Next is they play important role to be beneficial business practices. As for the Apple itself, they try to use the people, the profit, and the planet as their line in producing a higher and maintain their own profit.
Next, I will proceed about another two theory for the case study. First is the career theory, which explains a simple framework that helps to argue how and why organizations should meet their social responsibility. The key feature of the career theory in corporate social responsibility include of the corporate social responsibility is built on the foundation of profit, where profit must come from. This theory explains four levels of responsibility, which is economic responsibility, legal, ethical, and philanthropic responsibility. Second is stakeholder theory, which is a concept of capitalism that emphasizes the interconnected relationship between a company and its customer, suppliers, workers, investors, community, and those involved in organization. The theory argues that a company should generate value for all, not just shareholders, but also stakeholders. According to Edward Freeman, there are six principles of stakeholder theory that will control the stakeholder corporate relationship, which is the principle of entry and exit, the principle of governance, the principle of externalities, the principle of contract cost, agency principle, and the principle of limited immortality. Next, I will proceed relevant to the case study. As mentioned before, people bottom line is the most concern, which is Apple try to build better relationship among supply chain to maintain a profitability company. For the carrot theory, this theory related to the case as it feature where profit should come first. The economical and philanthropic responsibility may close enough to expand the case study as the element also successfully build a better relationship to any related party. Next, supplier for Apple want to receive fair treatment and compensation. Under the stakeholder theory, supplier can conduct their own business in legal, fair, and equitable manner. If the foreign really wants long-term sustainability, stakeholder theory holds it will handle supplier and vendor well, but also do due diligence on how the supplier firm conduct business for themselves. Hence, there are companies, stakeholders, and their view must lead to corporate decision making. It is true they do not own the stock, but they have a moral right to take part in the decision making process. That's all from me. Thank you.